the lawyer who is waging bipartisan campaign to remove former President Donald Trump from 2024 ballots in every state, says there's a very good chance Supreme Court in Minnesota, Colorado or Michigan will rule on issue before end of year. It received immediate review by the U.S. Supreme Court. This issue ideally needs to be decided before any ballots are printed. I hope and expect that it will work out in our favor, said Ben Clements, President Senior Counsel at Free Speech for People, the legal advocacy group behind some of them constitutional challenges to Trump's candidacy. Last week, judges Colorado and Minnesota heard arguments in lawsuits filed by voter groups claiming that an often overlooked part of the Constitution, Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, bars Trump from participating state ballots. The district court in Colorado is expected to issue its first ruling this month. Ben Clements, President and Senior Counsel of Free Speech for People, a bipartisan legal advocacy group, is leading a nationwide campaign to disqualify Donald Trump from the 2024 election. A court in Michigan will consider a similar case against Trump this week, because his lawyers will countersue officials in that state to force him into the vote. We public obligation. Secretaries of state have an obligation. The court's obligation to enforce and make sense of Section 3 14th Amendment, even if it's politically difficult. Clements told ABC's This Week. It states that persons who swore an oath to support Constitution as an officer of the United States and subsequently participated in rebellion, insurrection, or provided aid, comfort to enemy cannot hold office. Trump's critics argue that he has clearly violated Third Amendment, given his connection to riot at U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, and his efforts to block certification of President Joe Biden's election victory. That's a very clear statement, said Laurence, a Harvard law professor and constitutional expert. Presumably at least one state court will rule in this obvious case that the language of the 14th Amendment means what says does and means what says means. Trump called the lawsuits a ridiculous conspiracy theory and election interference. His legal team argues in court documents that First Amendment's right to free speech protects the former president from allegations of his involvement in insurrection. Former president and current Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump speaks during his campaign rally in Sioux City, Iowa, on October 29, 2023. Scott Morgan attorney Scott Gessler, who defended Trump in court in Colorado last week, called the 14th Amendment challenge their anti-democratic, said millions of Coloradans, Colorado Republicans and unaffiliated voters, will be able to vote for the presidential candidate they want. The constitutional argument for Trump's disqualification gained steam after two prominent conservative legal experts wrote an analysis in the Uni